The rich man, the Bible says, has judgment coming because of his greed, his desire to have it all, his desire to pay low wages or not pay the wages at all. Just like when the many Europeans enslaved Cushites to do their work in the fields in order to not pay wages at all and to gain all the profit. God said there's judgment coming for them. Remember when David sinned in regards to Bathsheba, the wife of Uriah the Hittite. David had committed adultery with his wife, and he got his wife pregnant. David was trying to get him to go and sleep with his wife, go home and have relations with your wife. Even got him drunk to try to get him to do that, so somehow he would believe that child was his. Uriah, he was like, I'm not going there to my wife because look at the rest of the soldiers. They're sleeping out in the open. These are God's people. I'm going to be right with them. But yet David had this big cover-up he was trying to do. And he couldn't think about nothing but somehow covering this thing up. So he had Joab, his military commander, leader of his army, to place Uriah in the heaviest part of the battle, close to the walls where they're firing arrows down, so that he could die in battle. And that happened. The cover-up was not to remain that way. In 2 Samuel 12, it says in verse 1, Yahweh sent Nathan to David. He came to him and said to him, there were two men in one city, the one rich, the other poor. The rich man had very many flocks and herds, but the poor man had nothing, except one little ewe lamb, which he had bought and raised. It grew up together with him and with his children. It ate of his own food, drank of his own cup, and lay in his bosom, and was like a daughter to him. A traveler came to the rich man, and he didn't want to take of his own flock out of his own herd to prepare for the way-faring man who had come to him, but took the poor man's lamb and prepared it for the man who had come to him. Now you look at that and you say, just reading that account, that would make a person very incensed. Why didn't you got all that money, you're a rich man, why you had to take the poor man's? He only had one lamb. You took his instead of taking what's yours when you had plenty to provide for the person that was coming to visit you. And what happened? Verse 5, David's anger burned hot against the man. And he said to Nathan, as Yahweh lives, the man who has done this deserves to die. He must restore the lamb fourfold because he did this thing and because he had no pity. So that incensed David right away. Wow, oh, no way he's getting away with this. Not this one, no. You take a poor man's, he only got one lamb, and you take his instead of all that you got, and you rob this poor man of his last lamb that he has? Oh, no. You're going to die, you're going to give him fourfold. You're going to pay him back 4 times what you took. Oh, David was angered. Oh, no. This person showed no pity, no mercy. Well, verse 7 says, Nathan said to David, you are the man. This is what Yahweh, the God of Israel, says. I anointed you king over Israel, and I delivered you out of the hand of Saul. I gave your master's house and your master's wife into your bosom, and gave you the honor of the house of Israel and of Judah. And if that would have been too little, I would have added to you many more such things. Why have you despised Yahweh's word, to do that which is evil in his sight? Ye have struck Uriah the Hittite with the sword, have taken his wife to be your wife, and have slain him with the sword of the children of Ammon. Now therefore the sword will never depart from your house, because you have despised me, and have taken Uriah the Hittite's wife to be your wife. That cut him to the heart. His sin was laid bare. The cover-up was over. You're that man. You did that. This is what we find about a lot of rich people. They got plenty of money, lots of money, millions, billions of dollars, But that ain't enough. They don't want to spend their money, they want to spend yours. They don't have mercy on the poor. They don't want to pay taxes. They don't want to pay fair wages. They don't want regulations which would limit the profits that they want. They want you to suffer while they enjoy. They show no pity. Just as this brought anger to King David, it brings anger to God. Instead of showing mercy, they're too greedy for that. No, they want yours. And all they do is do what it takes to get yours. No matter how many lies they have to tell, no matter how many laws they have to break, no matter how many regulations that they can get out the way to get to that money, that's what they're going to do. As long as they can get to yours and put it in their pocket. Yes, they are the man that Nathan would point to. You're the man. You showed no pity. As the Bible said, you showed no pity, you will be shown no pity. And that's why the Bible tells the rich man to exalt in his humiliation, to be humble, to not be thinking highly of themselves. You got money, use it to help others. They're not showing any mercy to anybody. They're cutting and slashing in the name of waste, fraud, abuse. But not identifying what that is, because it's a cover-up, just like King David. Cover-up. All they want to do is slash all that so that they can have enough to give themselves tax breaks. They want to take from the poor, that one lamb the poor has, and put it in their pocket. David, when Nathan came to him and he brought this situation, he might have thought, okay, this is easy. I got a judgment for this guy who did this. Oh, I got something for him. And David just, I got it. This is what's going to happen. This going to happen to that guy who took that poor man's lamb. Oh, he's going to get it. Until he found out, you're the man. And same thing with these rich people today. Some of them, they believe, oh, I'm Christian, I'm this and that. Oh, I'm this, I'm so righteous. That's why I got all I got, because I'm righteous. They're going to find out one day, you're the man. But unlike David, there won't be no mercy for them because they don't have a track record of mercy